Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and today I am here celebrating 5 years on YouTube. And I thought today, which is normally a day where I chat about tarot and talk about different principles of reading tarot. Sometimes we look at specific decks. I thought I would reflect a little bit on my journey on YouTube, the things that I have learned, the highlights, the challenges, talk a little bit about some of the numbers, and also open up the floor to your questions as well too. And if there are any burning questions that you have, please feel free to put those into the chat and I will endeavor to answer those for you. And we'll just kind of see how this flows today. I haven't made a video like this for a little while, and I just thought I have a few questions that I have gathered, and I thought I would just start with some of these questions that people have asked me multiple times or recently. Okay, this channel, it took me a lot of nerve to start a YouTube channel. And there was a beautiful soul who walked in to a metaphysical store where I was doing readings. And everybody in the store knew who she was. And finally, I put two and two together and realized that she was the creator of this deck. This is the Wild Woman Enchanted, I believe the name of it is. It's an out-of-print deck. It's all in silhouette. It's really beautiful. And Liz talked about her channel on YouTube and the creation of this deck and just sort of her journey. And I had met her a few years earlier. She was down at the ferry terminal and she was selling her paintings and this deck, as well as some essential oil synergies that she had, and just found her very real. And so, yeah, so it was thanks to her name is Elizabeth McLeod, that I started this channel. And I want to honor her. She doesn't come on YouTube very often, but if you Google Elizabeth McLeod, Wild Woman Enchanted, you'll find her. She's a beautiful, lovely soul. Good morning. Welcome to Saskia. Hello. And those of you that are in the background. Okay. Now, this, I believe I recorded this video on the same, I believe, so Liz McLeod had come into the store a few times, and we talked about content creation on YouTube. And I believe it was the second time that she came in, I actually went into the reader's room and I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to make a video right now and I'm going to post it, and this is going to be my first video. And I went into the reader's room and I recorded a video on the deck creator is in Edmonton. Her name is Sandra Coons. It's a messenger oracle. It's a square oracle deck. And I just had a little look at that video and oh my God, it's really something. It's come along. Video making has come a long way for me in the last 5 years. And so, yeah, so that was my first experience. And I was so nervous and really didn't know what I was doing, but I will always leave that video up there. It was, I won't say it's difficult to look at, but I think it's good to have a, I also want to be here for new content creators, to inspire them, to let them know it's okay to be you, and it's okay not to have things perfect on YouTube. Yeah. Welcome. Hello. Good evening to Dee and Donna. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. Hello to Laura. Welcome. Yeah. Happy Friday to all of you beautiful souls. Hi, Tina. Welcome. Now, my most popular video which has, I do have a little cheat sheet I will get up here on my screen so I can answer some of my own questions here. It's so surprising. This video is, I feel, it's about 4 years old, and it has been the most popular video for a long time. And it is a video about my indie tarot deck collection. And I think this conversation, I'll expand on this a little bit, but popular videos aren't my most favorite videos to make. This indie tarot deck collection video that is, I don't have a spreadsheet, it's just on a Word doc, Donna. What was I saying? Oh yes, these collection videos and top 5 videos and these popular videos, they aren't my most favorite to make, and I'm going to expand on that in a little bit. But yeah, there's 28,000 views on this video, and it really is a mediocre video, but there you go. That was a question somebody asked. Yeah. In case you don't understand Donna's comment, this is something about me. I like Microsoft Excel. I have used Excel for a long time, and I have a lot of spreadsheets for just about everything, but I did not create a spreadsheet for today. Yeah. Okay, thanks for the wishes, Dee. Okay. And please feel free to put your questions into the chat as well too. So I for the past few years, I have done readings on December 31st-ish. And I have done a reading for your tarot card of the year. And each year I have done not 22 videos, but somewhere close to 22 videos, somewhere in the neighborhood of 18, because by the way that the tarot card of the year calculations go, like you can't have one magician can't be your tarot card of the year unless that's by reduction. And these videos are, I really enjoy making them, and they are exhausting. And they require a lot of energy and a lot of time, and I wish that they had taken off more. I will probably continue to do this every new year, but yeah, honestly, it's a little disappointing when something that contains my heart and my skill isn't widely received, and that's the case with a lot of videos on my channel. So I do this because I love to do it, not because, not for the likes and not for the subs, but it is encouraging. It is encouraging when people do like videos. Donna, you're sweet. Donna says, I've got different windows open here. It's really interesting. And one year I went back, and after 6 months I did a review. So I watched each of the videos, and then I did a review and a 6-month reading. And that was a bit of a project. I think it's great. It's great to go back and review these videos later in the year as well too, to see how things are playing out. And one of the things I suggest for my tarot students is that if you're going to do a year ahead reading, is to, and some people do that with a 12 card cycle, a 12 card wheel. There's different ways to do it. I also have another formula that I use for my year ahead reading, which is not a circle at all. But if you're going to do 12 cards, to leave blanks in your journal so you can go back at the 3-month point, at the 6-month point, and see how the reading is progressing and get new insights into it. Yeah, I think these are important readings to do. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome. Hi, Estrid, and thank you for the wishes. Okay, so I do remember my first live stream, and this was my 500 sub video, and the tech was not great, but I also left this video up, and I continued to explore how to make better live streams and about the technology. Anyway, it's come a little ways from the first one, yeah. So that was about 4 years ago as well, too. Yeah. Hi, Perry. Welcome. This is a really good question. So, and I continue to do this because of these things, not because of the challenges, which I will also address. I suppose the best part is the community and the connections that are built through this. Many people email me directly and respond to a reading that I've given on live reading day, or respond to some deck review that I have done, or perhaps they are involved in one of the deep dive series that I'm doing and there's some tremendous insight that they have. And so people reach out, and these connections are really beautiful. And I have, through YouTube, acquired and expanded my coaching business as well too. So I work with many people that you see in the chat, and some who are not in the chat that are behind the scenes. And this, what I do is I do work with the tarot, but most of my training is through yogic psychology, and I have spent a year or more with a few of you, and it's really been amazing. And you wouldn't have met me if I weren't on YouTube. So this has really helped me to expand that part of my practice, and I think it's really beautiful. It's so much more fulfilling when one is able to step and commit to work in one's journey for an extended period of time, and not just do one-off readings, because one-off readings are really, really hard to follow up on. Yeah. Other highlights. I think suppose the international aspect of all of this, because I have met people all over the world, and there have been I feel like there have been friends that have been made, and should I travel to different cities or different countries, then I feel like I have people that I can contact when I'm there. This has also increased my awareness and interest in different places in the world, and places that eventually I would love to travel to. So yeah, those are some of the highlights. You have a splendid community that is ongoing and based on love and healing. Thank you. That's lovely. And Tina is in Sweden, and Tina is a very special soul. I don't know, I think it was my one of the groups of Tarot Foundations 1, and Tina was awake some early morning. Was it 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.? Tina got up to take this course, this 22-week course. And so Tina is a trooper. Yeah. So, welcome. So nice to see you here. I usually see you on YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook. For those of you that don't know, I also have a Facebook group, and I go live in my Facebook group on Wednesday nights. And what I have sort of shifted into doing on my Facebook group is more like a satsang. So I will have, right now I'm working with the Weaver's Oracle, and I find a theme and try to go a little bit deeper into the meaning of the card and all of that. So yeah, that is, those videos, you are really getting me at my essence. And it's a small group. Sometimes nobody's there and I just ramble and talk to the camera, but I know there's people that watch the replay, and I always appreciate the comments after the fact. Yeah. All right. You're welcome, Tina. So where are we? Please feel free to put your questions into the chat if you have any, and the amazing Donna will highlight them for me. Okay. Sorry for the dead air. Okay. I lost my questions. Where'd they go? Here they are. Okay, there we go. So let's talk a little bit about challenges. Besides trolls, and I want to thank all of you that have the power of the tool. Besides trolls, there are, and even this week, challenges. I'm very challenged how to respond to snide or negative comments. And I want people to feel free to say what they want to say in the comments. It is sometimes very deflating to read these comments, and I usually don't respond right away. Occasionally I will hide them and then come back and think about a mindful way to respond to them, and to try to imagine where the person is coming from and why they would say the things that they say. Sometimes it is so deflating that it makes me not want to go on the air that day. It's really hard. So there's not that many of them, but it is a challenge. So if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you do have to have a bit of a thick skin and be able to manage and navigate all of this. I'm reading Donna's comment here where she says, all attack is a cry for help. Yeah, and I recognize that. Okay, great. So I'm going to intervene and go to some of your comments. What short-term ambitions do you have for your channel? Well, I have to decide whether I'm going to do this on this channel or the yoga channel that I started and didn't really put much energy into. A ways back, I did a 30-day or a 40-day restorative yoga challenge. And I did one pose a day, and I drew a card, and I really, really liked that. I really did. And I love teaching through yoga. And so I have been thinking for the past couple of months that I would like to do a more, not restorative yoga, but intro to sun salutations, and somehow bring layers into what's going on. So I want to include a card of inspiration, and I would love to film these outside. Part of my mission is to help others understand how accessible yoga is, and how really it's just about being mindful of your breath, and the gift of the movement is just so freeing. And I know people look at me weird. I'm walking on the beach and doing things with my shoulders and my arms, and it's just feels so good. So that's something I would like to do, for sure. And then other short-term things. Honestly, besides, I really feel like the deck deep dive thing is losing steam. So I need to find a new inspiration, and I would love to start a new feature. Perhaps take away something that I'm doing and add a new feature. Find a new sort of topic. And that might involve doing pre-recorded videos. So I just have to think about that. And if you have any requests, please let me know. Okay, I appreciate that. So, okay, I need a sip of water. All right. Let's go to Beth. What perk or awesome thing was completely unexpected? I think it was the positive feedback, Beth, that people connected with what I was saying, and it wasn't just me in a bubble. That why would anyone want to listen to me? That was part of my conversation that I had with Elizabeth McLeod. What is it that I have to offer that's different from everyone else, and how can I grow a channel that is me? What is my motivation behind doing all this? And I was surprised at the wonderful things people said, and sometimes at great length went on and on. So that was very, very encouraging, and that happened right from the beginning. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Colleen. Thank you. Thank you. Now, some of you have commented on my thumbnails, and this is something I love to do. It's really fun. And I use Canva. And not too long ago I haven't used Canva the whole time. I don't remember when I started using it. But not too long ago I got a 1,500 badge from Canva, and I I thought that was funny. I really enjoy using it. So it's very user friendly, and they have a lot of stock graphics and stock photos that I use, as well as uploading my own stuff. And it allows me to be creative, and it's on Canva that I'm creating my tarot journal. and I'm getting more serious about that now. It's not, I suppose I should do it in another program, but I've started doing it there, and that's where I will publish it through. So yeah, so Canva's been really, really fun, and I enjoy using that. I like, what kind of content do I like to create? I like to create things that challenge me or inspire me. I wrestle, honestly, I wrestle with the popular, the kind of videos that are popular. And I know that if I did more top 5 or there's a few YouTube creators who are very, rah rah, hoo hoo, and that's not really who I am. And so I feel like I love to do more educational content than rah rah content. And occasionally I will do a top 5 and a best of this and that video. And yeah, those videos get way more hits than educational content. But I really do like to create that. Okay. Somebody asked this question, and I've had this question asked in a few different ways over the past little while. And honestly, it is it's somewhat disheartening, but I can't focus on the number of subs on the channel. Because if I didn't love what I was doing, I wouldn't do it. And I suppose that if I'm to answer this question directly, I don't know. Not every YouTuber is for everybody. And I haven't put much effort into, sound effects and all the cool little things that people do with the cutting and so forth to make shorter videos that are probably more interesting to listen to. So I'm aware of this, and if I were to put more effort into editing and making my videos more punchy, then I definitely wouldn't be doing live streams, because those videos take a lot of time. Yeah. Hi Helen, welcome. So yes, I started my channel and was doing pre-recorded videos, because who in the world would start by doing a live stream? That would be crazy. And as my confidence grew and my ability to kind of move things around in this space, I just found it a lot easier to do live streams and pre-recorded videos, because once you're done, it's done and dusted, and it just processes, and that's it. As I mentioned, pre-recorded videos require a lot of time and a lot of editing, taking out all the ums and the pauses, and adding little subtitles and all that kind of stuff. So I've decided that I do them occasionally, but not so much anymore. Yeah. All right, let me go back to the chat. Let's go back to the chat. So Helen, I appreciate you saying that. What does Perry say here? Breath work and yoga will help many people. Yeah, it's something I would like to do more of, and perhaps there will be a once a week feature that I will do that. And thank you for that feedback, Jennifer. I really appreciate it. Okay, now let's go to this one. Few-ish subscribers. Yeah, and so I was alluding to this earlier. There are people who are really maybe, I don't know, mediocre readers who do card-a-day readings, or there's a bazillion of them out there. There's a whole other community of woot woot tarot readers out there, and honestly, I don't understand why they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. It's all about, I suppose, the game of it, and that's a whole other thing. Yeah, when will Prince Charming show up? What you get with me on Tuesdays, it couldn't be more real. And it's centered for you, and it's about your journey, and it's coming from a place of deep connection with spirit, and that's what I offer. Yeah. D. I love that you never shy away from difficult stuff you don't really like much, but can appreciate the deck. Yeah, that Hush Tarot series was a real challenge for me, and I learned something from it. So here's an example, right? So there's this deck that kind of repulses me. A deck that is just, I don't understand. And so I went deep, deep, deep into Jeremy Hush's Instagram page. I went back to the very beginning of his Instagram page and looked at his art. And this was a really challenging series to create. But what I got out of this series was my own interpretation of that particular deck. And if you haven't heard this, then I'll repeat what it was. But when I look at the Hush Tarot, I see a apocalyptic scene. And this scene would be in New York, which is, I believe, where he is, at the Met. And all of those masks and the remnants of human objects that you see, I imagine to be props and things that have survived the apocalypse and are scattered about in the garden and in the weeds as the land around the Metropolitan Theater is beginning to grow again. And it was really interesting when that all sort of came to me, what that felt like. So yeah, so I got something out of that for sure. All right, let's go to Astrid here. I much prefer the educational content. There's a lot of, and today's kind of a chatty video, but there's just, I'm not interested in just gossiping and sitting down in the chat there's a few channels I just don't watch anymore because I don't really get much out of it. So I do what I like to do, okay? Exactly. Yes. Okay, let's go here. And I don't know if any of you have watched my Tuesday live readings, and sometimes I get rather repetitive and mundane questions, the ones that are the same sort of questions that are asked on those channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I do my best to kind of tap into that essence of the question and educate and empower the person who's asking the question, because a lot of the questions that asked are rather disempowering, and I really want to offer that to people. Yeah. Thank you, Colleen. Yes, and I get bombarded with this. So if you are considering doing readings, live readings on Facebook or YouTube, sometimes people just want you to tell them yes or no. That's it. And so I will catch myself. I'll be going into a deeper analysis of the question, and then I'll see in the chat, just tell me yes or no. And people get very demanding. And so I will stop what I'm doing and I will answer yes or no. So, yeah. Okay. Yes, I remember you shared an article about Jeremy, and that was very useful. And I think this is part of my experience, is to get to know and to question the creator. That really does help in an understanding. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I've noticed too that many of those asking the questions come from cultures that really disempower women. Yes. And I suppose that had I not spent a significant amount of time in countries where, such as India, where there are arranged marriages and things like that, if I didn't understand the process, I probably wouldn't comment so directly as I do. And I think I have a pretty good handle on the process and how it all works firsthand, and not just in India either. Oh, Jennifer, that's very helpful. That's very helpful. Questions are a tricky thing, and learning to ask good questions is a real skill. Do I have advice for new creators? I would say that I would make a few videos and watch and listen to yourself. It takes a bit of practice to speak fluently, and between phrases to not have too many ums, or whatever your word is that fills spaces. A lot of people say after every single phrase. And I think it's worthwhile recording yourself a few times and practicing this. Another way that, if you're doing live readings, is to start to write out your readings and then read what you have written out aloud. The skill of speaking fluently and clearly takes practice. And I know this because every week I am editing my tarot classes, And so my process is I download the recording from Zoom, and there's a couple of different formats. So there's just my screen, and then there's the shared screen, and then I blend those together, and I cut out the dead air. And if I am being repetitive, I cut out that section. And then when the students are speaking, I also take time to cut out the repetitive, you know. And it's amazing when you cut a video down. So most of my classes are about 90 minutes long. Most of what ends up on YouTube in the private listings is about an hour and 5 minute or an hour and 10 minute video. We waste a lot of air. So I think this is important. I think this is more important than the glitz. And also the ability to look into the camera. So I think it's important to know where your camera lens is and to practice that. Yeah. You certainly learn a lot about yourself when you listen to the recordings you have made of yourself. Okay. Kenneth, I would be remiss if I did not mention how much you helped me during lockdown. Aw, you're very sweet. You're very sweet. And I always enjoyed your contributions to the conversation. What I'm doing right now, like last night's video in the Facebook group, it really, really hit me hard. And this is our card for this week in the Facebook group. And last night, so this is card 34, if you have this deck, Udigan of the Bone Needle. And she is a tattoo artist. Let's call her that. She's a tattoo artist. Udigan of the Bone Needle. Udigan refers to witch, healer. And I was having all of these amazing connections. In her story, it talks about the pain of the needle cutting the skin. It talks about the blending of the ink and the blood. And I was thinking about all of the lines and the scars and the songs and the stories that talk about scars and wounds and cuts, and just the natural lines that occur on one's face, the lines that we have on our hands and our skin, birthmarks. And there was so much that came out of this card yesterday for me. It's really powerful. And so Wednesday is, if you're interested and you have time, most of the time there aren't many people in the chat, so I'm only on about 35 minutes or so. But if you haven't explored the Weavers in depth, you might want to hop into the Facebook group and join the Wednesday night conversations. I really appreciate it, all the wonderful things that you're all saying here. Okay, do I have any other questions? There's a couple that I skipped over. I didn't type some of them down. I have made a lot of videos, and I will continue to make videos. That is indefinite. Somebody asked if I'm gonna, how many more years are you gonna do this for? Well, I'll do it until I feel that my time is coming to a close, and as you know, there's a few decks that I still want to share publicly and do some deep dives into, and I will continue to expand my yoga content and things like that. And it's possible that I may reduce the amount of time that I'm on YouTube down to just twice a week, but that's a bit of a process. Yeah. No more questions. Okay. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. So now it's just time for me to say thank you. Thank you, and I really appreciate all of you, and those that are here in the chat today have been here for a while and really made an effort to connect through comments and contributions and supporting one another in the chat. And for all of these reasons, I appreciate you all so much. Christine is here. Thank you, Christine. Christine is Sacred Sortilege. And I have to say that I went back and put together, because you used to be Christina Nanda on YouTube, right? And if you're on YouTube long enough and people change their channel names, you know, I can't believe it took me this long to figure that all out and put that all together. So it's nice if you let me know that it's you. I know Amy was on yesterday, and Amy is a student, and she had a new channel name, and it took me a second to figure out who she was. So yeah, I do have a spreadsheet where I keep track of your channel name changes and try to remember who everybody is, and that's part of my way of continuing the connection. So yeah, Jen is here. Oh, Jen. Thank you so much. I'm just signing off, Jen, and it's wonderful that you popped on. Nice to see you. Jen, from the beginning, we made a deep connection, and Jen at one point was on my live readings, and she was as active a mod as Donna presently is, and really, really appreciate all that you have given to my channel over the years, Jen. So thank you so much. And Jen and I worked together privately as well too, and this is why I do what I do. We make these connections, right? We make these beautiful connections, and it would be amazing to have the power of, you know, just to sort of hop through time, hop through space, and see one another in person. And I know one day we will meet. And I say that as well to many of you. All right, I am rambling, so I am going to sign off and say thank you all for being here today, and all of your kind words. Have a lovely weekend, and keep your eyes to the moon. She is growing, and I just love this time of the waxing gibbous moon. Enjoy these summer evenings if you're in the northern hemisphere, and those of you in the southern hemisphere, hopefully you're having some beautiful clear winter nights as well too. Namaste.